Good morning to the DMV and the rest of the world. This is your girl Reese, aka the best that ever did it. And yes, this is another edition of the Morning Mac Show. Today on the Morning Mac Show, our topic of discussion is misery. And that good old term, misery loves company. Why do misery love a company? And what exactly is misery? What is the definition of misery? And why do we experience that? Do we have a choice? Can we go without being miserable? I know I can. So today is September the 7th. So all of my Virgos celebrating birthdays for September the 7th. I want to say happy birthday. This is prime Virgo season right now. And even tomorrow is somebody's anniversary that they will be turning another year old. It's a very special person and dear to us all. I won't get into any more graphics about that though. But the topic is misery. A lot of us, especially during this last couple of years dealing with the pandemic, has really sunken in to that depression or that miserable feeling of misery, uh, feeling ratchet or feeling helplessness, helplessness, or feeling just down either because you lost some loved ones or if you've been sick yourself. It's been a hard two years. But did you all know that being miserable is a choice? That is something we actually have control over. And you don't have to be miserable. You really don't have to be. Um, some of us choose to be miserable. Some of us love the fact that people are miserable, more miserable than us around us. Um, that that phrase misery is a French and Latin word, le miserant or misère, if I'm saying it right, in Latin, meaning a ratchet, self-loathing, um, just downtrodden. Okay, um, it was a term coined. I think it was. I want to say 1400 BC's. Anyway, it was like a misery love company was coined from a play actually, and it was because this guy had made a pact with the devil, a deal with the devil for 24 years. Uh, he sold his soul to the devil for 24 additional years of life with everything that he wanted. But it's a play. You guys got to see the play. Anywho, mental health is real, and we all deal with some type of depression. We all deal with some type of everything because this is just the world that we live in. But misery is a choice. People choose to be miserable or not. The opposite of misery is happy, joyful. That's the opposite of misery. So you can choose to be around people and feel bad and complain. And when you're complaining, what good does complaining do? But make you feel worse or even make the people around you feel worse. Um, psychologists did a study and they found out that miserable people love to be around other miserable people. Did you guys know that miserable people love to be around other miserable people? So the term misery loves company. Not all company does misery like. Misery only like miserable company. Have you ever been in a group of people and there was just one person that was miserable that seemed to complain all the time, and 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 you guys were like, oh gosh, I wish they stopped complaining. Oh gosh, or here they go again with the complaints. You're not going to be invited back to the next function because they're going to deem you as a complainer, a Debbie Downer. You know, they're going to accuse you of bringing it high down. Now, when you get around other miserable people, that likes to complain just as much or even more than you, then y'all get together and y'all could gripe and have a bitch fest together, basically. So, uh, misery only loves miserable company. Keep that in mind, okay? Second of all, you could do stuff to change your mood. We change our mood any given time. You could do stuff. You can listen to your favorite song or some tunes, or you can watch TV. That's mindless behavior. Or you could play games, or you can read a book. You can read Shades of Blue. It's a good book, and that book isn't at all a miserable book. It's challenging. Life is challenging, and all I'm saying to you guys, we got choices. We don't have to be miserable. That's something that we choose. Does any of our viewers or anybody want to say anything in the chats? Let's see. I can't even see the chats. Where
Yeah,
is
we got Slicky Woo in here. He's saying, good morning, sis. I almost said two peas in a bucket, effort, but I'm on time. Go to, if you can, because you're on your laptop, your phone, your Facebook post is, again, it ain't public for some reason. And and you probably got to do this every time you go live for some, I fix it though. So every time you go live, it'll be public. And it might say public for some reason, it ain't showing the comments again.
So I'll go to my Facebook and deal with like what I did last night.
Yeah, just go straight to your page. Misery Love Company, though. I love the topic. Sliggy Woo, how you do, man? If you in here, share it. If y'all watching, please like, comment, subscribe if you watching on YouTube. And let's get some more people in here. Don't be shy. I'll read the comments for you, Reese.
Well, I thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, this is the thing. You click on the three dots, dots,
If you
and
remember,
pose,
should say privacy, edit privacy.
edit privacy. Here we go. Public. Boom. I hit it. And okay, that should do it.
There
Did it
we
do
go.
it?
Thank you. Yeah.
Alrighty. So
Yeah,
it's both
Reese
on
quick.
Facebook and on so I need to share it to everybody again
If
live
you
now.
if you
I know
want,
that I want everybody to come in and get this good information that we're doing, this morning. Because it's
get them in
important
here. Get them in here.
that, as we get through the holidays and into and the holidays coming up. And that is it's a terrible time for being depressed and feeling some kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you right about that.
And that's not what we want to do. We want to show some love. That's what we got to do. Show our love to our brothers and sisters, and all that good stuff. Life is too short. Life is too short, and the world is miserable without us adding to it. We got enough problems that's going on today,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't know that that's a choice. You don't have to be miserable. I need to share it to my groups.
And go and share it out. I'm gonna share your commercial when we come back. You should be ready.
Okay. All righty. Are we back? Are we back in the building yet? For those of you who just tuned in, this is your girl Reese from the Morning Mac Show. I'm in my studio home coming to you live because DJ Sly Tie, he's at work. So instead of putting the show on any further hiatus, I'm taking matters in my own hands because I believe that is a good show, good topic, and it's a good way that we can socially network, not just with myself, but with you, the viewing audience, and other businesses and other artists. I'd like to say I use this as a platform to elevate everybody up to the next level. Okay. Don't get it twisted. I do still have the radio segment, but unless we're going live or DJ Slide Tie is on the premises, he can only make the radio section of that happen. But in lieu of the radio part, we do have Facebook and YouTube. We do have the internet, social media. So I still can come to you all like I'm doing now. So today's topic is misery. And what is misery? What does it mean? And what does the term misery love company? What does that mean? And how does that affect us together as a people and all that good stuff? And before we went to commercial break, we were talking about Shades of Blue. That was the commercial that you all have seen. If you have not gotten that book, it's an awesome book, awesome read, quick read, a good story. It grabs you, okay? And we're going to try to have AM morning sometime, hopefully before Thanksgiving, to come in the studio live and do the AM morning thing with us. I'm looking for her. If anybody know where she is, tell her that I'm looking for her to come on the show. Miss AM morning. If you're out there and you're listening, get with us so we can set up a time so that you could be on the Morning Mac show. And if anyone else out there want to join in with myself and give us support and sponsorship, or if you got a business that you would like to advertise, hey, give us a contact and we can make that happen for you. Um, Today's topic: misery, misery, sweet, sweet misery. Okay, uh, misery, as you all may or may not know, is a French and a Latin word meaning ratchet, downtrodden, awful, terrible, low spirited. Let me see what some other definition of misery. As you can tell, yeah, I've been researching it because I just wanted to get a grip on exactly what is it. You know, is that feeling of self-loathing and self hurting and that pain. People can feel miserable when they're sick. Oh, I feel so miserable. People can feel miserable on the job. This job, I'm so miserable. Like, I totally do not like this job at all. People can feel miserable in their relationships, whether it's with a spouse or with a parent, cousin, or friendship. Just like yesterday, we talked about different levels of friendship, or sorry, different levels of relationship, because friendship is one of the levels of a relationship. So today we're going to talk about different levels of misery, being miserable, and what can you do about being miserable. And we're all close to the holiday time, and I know a lot of us get sad during the holidays because these are the times that we think about our loved ones that we no longer have, especially during the last couple of years with the pandemic. There's a lot of misery going on. It's because we had to self isolate, we had to self quarantine, and all of that stuff. And if you are a free hearted spirit, you're not going to do well with being separated from the masses. You know, uh, being miserable is a psychological thing. They did a study, right, where they had a group of people uh, who was complaining, who's miserable. They asked them, would you, okay, for instance, they was doing a thing about They give everybody a shot, the jab. So if you were anxious or nervous, you had a choice to wait with some people that's just anxious or nervous or miserable, just like yourself, or you could wait with people that was calm, and serene and cool about it, or by yourself. Did you know that the first choice people, miserable people, wanted to wait with other miserable people? They would rather wait with miserable people than uh, wait with people who was good, happy, good spirits. So that saying, misery loves company, excuse me, is only miserable people loves miserable company. If you're happy, they don't like that. They don't like to see you happy or flowing. I mean, come on now. We all have been there with this person or been out with this person that no matter what you do, nothing is right. They just love to complain, and you out trying to have a good time and they're being a Debbie Downer. It was like, man, this is this and this is that, da 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 da. Da. They always say misery, loves company. So if you're being happy and they're being miserable, that's not going to match up. That's what they're saying. The psychologists are saying. What I'm saying is get a grip. Life happens. Stuff happens. Excuse me. Shit happens. And we got to learn how to cope with things that do happen. I noticed that people don't take rejection well. They don't like the word no. And they don't like the word sorry. I can't. If, they don't take that well. They don't know how to reroute. Like, say if you're going somewhere with your GPS and all that good stuff, and you're traveling, right? You on your road, but you miss and make a wrong turn, or you make a mistake. Your GPS says rerouting, meaning that they're going to take you on another way. There's more than one way to do something or to get somewhere. When we just have to accept, okay, damn, my way didn't work. Well, let me try this way. We don't need to get upset and want to fight us, yourself, everybody else around you, and just want to be a total nut roll. You don't want to do that. You want to figure out a way to regroup, calm yourself, because you're gonna be pissed off for a minute, because you're human. But we gotta get into the habit of not staying pissed off. It's okay to be pissed off, but we just don't need to stay pissed off. We need to regroup and say, okay, let me look at it this a different way and tackle life, at a different way. Maul, do we got any other comments? Is anyone out there saying anything or they want to chime in about what we're saying?
Nah, not yet. I'm just still sending out invites for some people who probably don't know you live yet because the page was private. So
Okay, so
I'm
we sending
sending
it
them
to the
out.
to the plug.
Mm, yeah, Monty and everybody.
Okay, okay.
Based what you saying, you making a lot of good points. Like I never even thought about it that far. Like miserable people, because I always looked at miserable people as loving people as well. They just going through a miserable time. I heard that a lot. So anybody that's going through a hard time or a rough patch, yeah, I think they will want company. Same as if anybody going through a good time. And it don't matter if I'm happy or if I'm miserable, I want company, because that's going to keep me going. I just think people need people through both times. But when I hear that misery love company, I just feel like that's the person that no matter what's going on good, the event can be good. They just not happy in their own life, so they want everybody to feel how they feeling right now. They don't want everybody to be happy. But I'm the type like, nah, I'm gonna get you out of that miserable state. You're gonna join the happy, happy like company too. I heard you say that. So, happiness like company, that's the group that you need to join. But miserable people need company, they just don't need company by other miserable people, because once that happens, don't nothing good come from that. We need somebody in that group happy to get them out that state.
That's
But
right.
Slicky just comment. He said misery is BS party bubble. Ah, it's out there.
Life is a balancing act. You got to balance everything So I would love to party all the time, but we got to get to the business some of the time. So, but yeah, yeah, Molly, I totally agree. When you're down, you need somebody to bring it up. But
Yeah,
those people, some people don't want to be brought up. Do you realize that some people like being miserable? It sounds so ludicrous. Like, who likes hurting? But there are actually people out there who relish in misery. They're sick. I mean, I shouldn't say they're sick. They need help. They need, they need help. That's
exactly. They get it.
and we need to be accountable. How they say, my brother's keeper. Yeah, you are, but so many people don't want to take that challenge. They don't want that responsibility. They're looking out for one another. Hell, people don't even want to look out for themselves, let alone somebody else.
Yeah,
But if we could come together more and infuse ourselves as a people and stand as a people, man, we could get so much done. So
yeah,
much good for the whole GP, for the whole, but it's hard when you have a handful of woke individuals with a big old pile of people that don't want to wake. They want to stay asleep because they like enjoying the dream or the illusion that they're living, or the life that they're living. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And what can we do? Nothing. We just have to go on through life trying to find like-minded people and and contain that contact, or contain those relationships with like-minded people. Like Molly, I think you and I are like-minded. We don't agree on everything, but we're still on that same conscious level. We want to like the same level. We have the same ideas, and we feel and we kind of think a lot. We share the same opinions, a lot of the same opinions, right? So I enjoy being around you because you give me a positive boost. You be like, you know what, Reese? I don't think it's that way. You got to look at it like this. You make me say, okay, you give me other options. You know what I mean? You was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you doing that, sis, but check this out.
You
I,
gotta have people, that's gonna be real with you. Some people they try not to hurt other people's feelings. I used to be like that. Like if I see one of my friends might mess up or something, I don't want to tell them. Make them feel uncomfortable. But after a while, I see nobody have a problem when I miss a layup. Or hey man, what you doing there? So every little thing I did, I had to be perfect. So I start, giving them that same critics, and it helped, but some guys like, man, you always hating or something like it ain't hating, I just want you to do better. Like how I'm hating because I'm saying that I believe you can do more push ups. Like you can do more than that, man. You hating. I can't like what in the world I'm trying to push you. If you thinking negative about yourself, I'ma always come with the positive. Like even the show, I know your event, a lot of people was in there like, what in the world? But I was just thinking about the positive, like overall, you had a good performance, you did your thing. And I think it was a good vibe when no fights broke out. It wasn't no security or police there. So for everything to go the way it went, it was good. They definitely got to work on the smell though. But that's just me. Other people probably complain all night, but me, shoot, I'm here now. I done paid my money. I'm trying to enjoy this as much as I can. I can't get my money back, so I'm gonna have a good time. That's just me.
yeah, I'm, and I'm glad you all came out and support. That means, a lot to me because I didn't know uh I didn't know about the smell. I didn't know about the event was going to be like it was. I thought it was going to be set up this way, but it didn't go the way that everything was planned. But we still went on with it. That's to keeping the game going, keep the ball moving, keep the show going. There's always going to be some setback and trip up. That's life. But instead of me bitching, moaning, complaining, and being miserable and saying, I'm not going on, I'm not going to do this. I knew I still had to do what I had to do. Even if one person came out to see me, I still got to do what I need to do for that one person to keep the show going. And I do apologize for whatever inconvenience um, happened. I think that somebody said it was a septic, and then somebody said somebody, ripped, ripped.
Nah,
Some
that,
I don't
that
know if
that had to
somebody
be a
got a
sore.
deuce or a sewer problem, or
Yeah,
they said somebody was going around passing gas.
yeah, I think it was just sore because I ain't smell it at all near you in the stage part area. But that's why I love Nene honest. Soon we walked in there, she kept it real with them ASAP. That's why you got Nene around. Just know Nene ain't gonna let nothing slide. Soon we walk in there, she said, "What's that smell?" Then hey, you work it like, what's that smell? Like, like things gotta be right. You gotta have that one. Cause I wouldn't have said nothing. I didn't say nothing. But you gotta have that one in the group. They're gonna let them know, man. Y'all gotta do better. Or they continue to do stuff like this. Like, ain't nobody say nothing. Nah. A few people
Right.
said something.
Somebody got to speak up
Yeah.
cuz my cousin and then they was like, "Yeah, we smell that smell too." And they said like one of the comedians was Joe Champ, they said was walking around with air freshener spraying and said it don't make no sense. Somebody cuz they thought somebody passed gas. And my aunt said that she smelled it. She thought somebody was just in the back farting. She said, "I thought somebody was back there tearing it up, lighting it up." And I said, "Oh
Man,
my gosh."
that would have
So
been bad.
everybody melted, but everybody had their different, like somebody got gas, somebody back there tearing it up, or somebody been in the bathroom blowing it up. Nobody ever didn't stop until Nene said, "Hey, let's get management on top of this. Hey, do
Yeah.
you know that this smell is like this? Because they should have been smelt that." And I don't even know when the smell happened because, like, I was there earlier. I got there like at 8 o'clock, and we didn't stay in the back. I had to set up my little table up at the front, and we didn't
Mhm.
stay back there in the back. So that part I didn't even know. I didn't even know that was going on because I didn't smell anything. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. So I would be like,
And
oh,
good.
what's that?
I thought somebody would have made it part of their joke or something. It'd have been funny.
I guess nobody really, because we was up front, and then
Yeah.
you know how they always say the first one smelt it, dealt it. So I don't
Uh-huh.
know if somebody was ripping their ass or sewage back up or what. If it was that bad, then they need to go home. They was sick. They, but and we kept on with the show. Some people didn't show up, and so instead of the host being miserable, he kept rolling with the punches because at that late in the game, he had to keep rolling with it. He had to
Yeah.
keep rolling with it. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, they're doing at Lucky's bar in Waldorf this Saturday. They're doing a Virgo birthday bash for all the Virgos. I'm not sure if I'll be at that one, but if I'm able to, I'll show up and show out. But don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to it. But I'm gonna do what I can. But I just don't want to, don't put my feet to the fire on that one because I ain't trying to be miserable or feel miserable if I don't show up. And Slicky, we all know that you miserable sometimes because you go off. We know Slicky be miserable because every day ain't a good day. He had bad days.
Every day and a good day.
No, for not for
You
Slicky. No, he be cussing everybody out. Miserable.
talking about
When he
per
said
uncut funk.
pure uncut funkadelic P funk. That's some funk. But yeah, that coin, that phrase "misery love company" was from a play. I looked it up back in 14th century BC's about
Wow.
a guy that sold his soul to the devil.
Wow.
And that's what I said too. Like they back then, or is the 17th century? Anyway, a long freaking time ago, that he sold his soul in in uh is for riches. How much is your soul? Or do you gotta if you miserable, I guess your soul ain't worth too much of nothing. Huh? There's
Like,
people dealing with sickness. A friend of mine's right now he's a DC firefighter, EMT, fully vaxxed, got the boosters and everything. Now he's suffering with COVID and he's trying to figure out how did he get COVID. Well, again, I'm explaining this to our viewers so they won't be miserable during this cold and flu season. Look, this is when Reese MD put her hat on. And MD don't stands for medical doctor. MD stands for making a difference. So I'm trying to share a little bit of knowledge and wisdom with the folks so they won't be miserable when it comes to their health this winter. It's flu season, starting in right about this time. I know because I normally get my flu shot on my birthday. And that
uh,
that cuts down on it being as severe. Now, COVID, the shot, the vaccine is not going to keep you from getting COVID. I want to make sure everybody understands that. So I don't want people to think, oh yeah, I could go out here around other sick people, be sick, sick, sick. Okay, did you make it sick? It all depends on how strong your body immune system is. If my immune system, Molly eats right all the time. He do good. So his immune system may be stronger than somebody like myself, right? So if me and Molly in a room with somebody with COVID, Molly may not get affected at all because he got a strong immune system because he eats the proper vegetables and the vegetables and eat the proper food to keep his body immune system up. Myself, I may eat the proper food, but I have underlying health conditions, which my immune system may be a little bit more compromised than Molly, right? So the COVID, both of us in the room with the person with the COVID, Molly may not get it, and I may get it. See, and the vaccine don't stop you from getting a thing. The vaccine just supposed to, I do the quote air quotes because they say it's supposed to help the severity, but everybody I know that got the vaccine stay just as sick as the people who didn't get the vaccine. I know people that's vaxxed, they got COVID, and I know people who's not vaxxed, they got COVID. And it seemed like the sickness was the same. First 3 days is rough. They felt the body aches, like a really bad flu, the chills, and all that stuff. Same thing for the person who's not vaxxed. The first couple of days rough, the body aches. So you use your own discretion. Do what feels comfortable or what you're comfortable with doing. Don't be miserable about that. But the only thing I'm saying is eat, keep your vitamins up, keep your immune system up. We should do that on a daily basis anyway, because we got so many different things that's out there other than COVID. There's so many more germs and bacterias and viruses that we have to contend with. So we should try to keep our immune system up any way we can. You know what I mean? I don't want to be miserable. I suffer with sinus allergies. I suffer with all kinds of allergies. I got to carry an EpiPen with me, so I don't like to be miserable. So I try to do what I can do to keep my immune health up, and that's taking magnesium, zinc, and elderberry. That's what works for me. Everybody body's different. What works for you, Mo? What you do to keep your immune system up? Sea moss.
see Moss, but I don't really know. I just chose to live life like I've been living before the pandemic even came about. So it maybe helps because I'm vegan and that I don't put a lot of meat and all that chemicals in my body, which I think weakens the immune system. I don't really think it's anything about the weather at all. I think it got a lot to do with what we eating. So if I'm not eating that food that everybody else eating, and they happen to catch COVID, some not, but I haven't, and I still ain't haven't run across any vegans that I know have. So it's like it might have something to do with the food. But that's
Mm,
just my theory of it, because
good
I don't
point.
really know. I understand it was made in a lab for sure, though. And I understand the human body is always going to adapt and fight off mostly anything. But they trying to find a way to find the right virus that can really knock us out the park, at a large mass of numbers. But that's gonna be hard, but that's if they keep voluntarily going in there taking jabs and giving them basically the results. Like they are the study. Anybody who took that shot, they studying you. So if they got
Right.
any results over the past year, you the results. For those who died, they got people who died, and for those who living, you wanted to living. But they still want to know how did your body react? How many times did you catch COVID? Do we got to make it stronger this time to knock you out the park?
Hmm.
Because we got it strong enough for the older and the weak, people that have a little bit of underlying conditions, we can get to them a little easier, but we need to find a way to get to the people with stronger immune systems. So they
Right.
working on it. We just got to stop trusting them and trust God. A lot of people read the Bible, no matter or whatever religion you is, and it tell you, believe in him before man, but man making these viruses, these cures, and all that. So it's funny because they the ones who stabbing us, then turning it around and say, "Here go a band-aid," and we accepting it. So I encourage nobody to get the shot. Don't get it.
This is a true story. My uncle, uh, the beginning of 2021, because my grandmother had already passed and stuff. February of 2021. That's last year. Yep. He caught COVID. Now, he was not vaccinated. He caught it probably from the people in the house, right? That he shared a house with. Because he wasn't going out in the public or nothing like that. Me and Tyree go out and, form and everything, right? He caught COVID. The hospital just said, you got COVID. Didn't treat him. Set him back in the atrium to send him back home, right? So he's going to his doctor stuff. He made it through it. He had a bad bout of diarrhea. He said it was like the flu. He just was sick and he didn't want to eat nothing for a few days, right? It was like the real flu. Now, and then he was a little dehydrated. So he already caught it and fought it off and everything, but it was his heart doctor. Now this man got a pacemaker, high blood pressure, diabetes. He has all the underlying health conditions. He fought COVID, passed it, got through it. And if he came out already with it, his heart doctor told him, yeah, you need to take the shot. So he went ahead and got the jab that summer. Because I was going to get the jab too until they told me, oh, you can't get the jab because your other underlying health conditions. The doctor didn't nobody want to sign off to say, yeah, it's not going to affect me with all the allergies and stuff that I got and all this. Because they asked me questions like, are you allergic to this? Are you allergic to that? And because I am, I had to check yes, yes, yes. And when you check yes, it prompts you to another box. Then they ask you this and they ask you that. They asked me, have you ever had MRSA? I had to check yes because in 2017 I did. So somebody was supposed to get back to me for me to get the shot. So we went up to Wild World or Virtual World, wherever, to get my uncle his second dose of shot, and I was going to get mine. The lady was like, "You can't get yours." And I'm like, wow, thank God. What if I had not, a lot of people don't check those boxes, right? What if I had not been honest, Molly, and just, just to get the shot, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know
Anything, yeah.
that could have killed me, a person like me? And a lot of people are so scared that they was like, yeah, I ain't got nothing, I ain't got this and no, I don't have nothing. But I have allergies to a lot of stuff. and and you know, but I'm just glad that I was honest and just went ahead to get I wouldn't have known. Put it like that is basically what I'm saying. And I might not be here talking to you all now. And I read the stories of some people they say who get the shot and they just died and killed them. They probably not being honest when they checking them things off and asking you, you got this, you got that, and ain't no telling what's in the jab that counteracts against your body. Everything not for everybody, you know.
Lorraine, the topic is Misery Love Company. She want another topic for today.
Oh, Lauren, okay.
Lauren.
Hey, Lauren, misery love company. Um, and then we got off the health misery, with the pandemic and everybody being miserable for the last couple of years. We're talking about the layers of misery and how people, that's the choice. People choose to be miserable. And we were saying how if you're miserable, how sometimes other miserable people want to be around other miserable people so they can have a bitch fest. When you're down or you're feeling miserable, you don't need to be around other miserable people because, like Molly said a few moments ago, you won't get nothing done but a lot of complaining. I'll give you another example. Like, say you're in a study group, right? You're studying for a big test, right? Six of you. One of you looks up after 15 minutes of studying. One of you like, oh, I hate this class. I hate this. I hate that. I hate that. You being miserable, you're complaining, right? And then another person to chime in, yeah, this teacher make me sick, make me this, make me that. Next thing you know, everybody's going to be in there bitching, moaning, and groaning about the work that they had to do, the research that they had to do. And one of you look up and say, can we get back to studying? They're gonna give you some dirty looks, and then you're not gonna be able to come to the next study group, right? That's the term how misery love company. You're not getting anything accomplished. You're supposed to be there to study so you can do good on your exam. Instead, you get sidetracked, the sidebar, which we do a lot of times in conversation. I know I do. It takes us a different place. We let it go. We go here. We go there with it. And you busy complaining when you should be concentrating more on studying. Because what good is complaining going to do? Is complaining going to get you out of studying? Is complaining going to get you out of the fact that you don't know enough? That's why you together in a group to study as a study group. That's what we do a lot. If I got $1 and you got $1 and Slicky and Molly got $1, and all of us is complaining about how we only got $1. And oh, I only got this with my dollar, I only got this with my dollar. But one of us got to say, hey, let's figure out a way to get some more dollars. See, sitting there complaining about you got a $1 ain't gonna help you. It ain't gonna change the fact that you still only got $1. You got to pick ourselves up, and somebody got to be the innovator and break the monotony and say, hey, let's try to get this done. Let's do that. You know what I mean? And if more of us did that or apply that to our daily living, you'll see your different results for you. Because instead of all four of us complaining about we only got $1, if all four of us come up with different avenues to get more than one money, we have more than one way to get money, right?
Yeah, you gotta get that money together. I like
Exactly.
that. I didn't know that though about the play that you sent. Let's look at I want all the money. Yeah, but I found it though online. It basically saying it was a play from the 16th century about a man who was prepared to give up all hope by signing a pact with the devil in exchange for 24 years, while 24, 246 of living with his desires being fully been fulfilled. That is crazy. And now when I always say, a lot of these dudes sell their soul, you hear that saying, they was miserable, and at the end of the day, you only get 24 years. So when you see these artists, at the 20 some years, they start to, R. Kelly it out, end up in jail or
I'll
something.
Kelly it out.
It's
Wait a
like
minute.
they got to pay that debt now. The devil here to collect. Like that lifestyle is over with, Bill Cosby. I don't know if you renegotiate your contract with the devil. I don't know how that work, but for that to come from that and people go around saying it now, it makes sense. The Double Love Company, you know, overall, the Double Loves Company, and he just recruiting. He started this in the 16th centuries. So that lets you know how long misery been around.
And
So it
that's
ain't nothing
BC,
new.
right? That was BC.
No, I don't, let me see. I don't think so. No.
Oh,
I'm about to say before Christ. God dang, misery. It might been that long too. They just ain't had that word for it. It started something like it was around.
the ratchet, the downtrodden. It's French and Latin. The woes, the woe is me. So is that all you were for 24 years? I think I would like to live past 24 years. Uh, that's all the time you get.
With 24 years, everything you desire, so you'll be rich for 24 years. You have all the men you like, Reese. You whatever you want, you're
Time
gonna have it for
flies,
24
Molly.
years. Two,
That ain't no
four,
time
24 hours in a day,
for my soul. Mm-mm.
365. Everything just about numbers.
No, no, thank you. I would like to live longer, live past that 24 years. Some people like, okay, party over, oops, out of time. Is that what happened to Prince and Michael Jackson? Speaking of being miserable, did you see the Michael Jackson uh thing they did last night? They said who really killed Michael Jackson. Now they're trying to come out and say that the other doctor did it because the other doctor was giving him pills and the doctor just happened to give he's taking pills and everybody knew about his drug addiction happened when he got burnt up when he the scalp burns how he started his addiction on painkillers. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow.
I don't know. I just always believe what Mike said out his mouth, not what the media said. I was a big Michael Jackson fan growing up. I watched everything Mike, but the
Oh,
media
Michael
hated.
told you. He said that he was addicted, that he was in getting help. He said in his interview, he said, I'm over here getting help because, I got addicted to pain pills because of he said, because the scalp burn.
Yeah, I
That's
ain't
how
never
he got
see that
addicted.
interview. I heard he said that, but I ain't never see him say that. I seen him say Sony is the devil. I heard him say I own
No,
the
what did he
majority.
say? Sony or Tommy Mottola?
Tony
Who
with
he,
Tony, all he said, and he said he owned majority of Sony, which make him the majority owner. So he was able to buy the rights to all his music and all that, and he owned the Beatles. So at the end of the day, I knew
that the
that,
Beetle collection? They wanted that Beetle
and
collection.
they killed him
From,
after that. So I don't. I just feel like his doctor, whoever, all of them played a part. You know, but I don't
yeah.
think they would give the doctor the pleasure to kill Michael Jackson. It gotta be one of them. Like they
Well,
ain't gonna get him.
on the interview, they told Dr. Murray, whoever said something, they said, look, you don't work for MJ, you work for us. And they had the transcript and they asked the guy, who is us?
United States.
Who is us? When they say you don't work for something about the AIG, the corporation that they was under or whatever. So I was, if you don't work for my MJ, you work for us. You gotta do what we tell you to do.
Yeah, you heard what Dick Gregory said. So they killed Michael Jackson with a laser, and a lot of people don't know that's possible. Like they can kill people with laser light. They don't need bullets no more. They can kill you from the sky from miles away with just a light, a laser, right through your chest and cause you to have a heart attack and die. And but it's saying unreal. They're saying like some movie stuff and nobody will get killed in the regular streets because that costs too much money. That's high tech to kill a little dude down the street you just beefing with. Nobody got that technology. So when it does happen, and if you come across it, them they'd be confused like what happened to this man. Like I don't know. It looked like somebody gave him an injection or this. No, they know what happened. That's why they had him all the way in the country. Last joint was called "This Is It." I think Mike's still alive. They staged his death. I think Malcolm X still alive. They staged his death. I think Nipsey Hussle's still alive. They staged
Biggie
his
and
death.
Tupac too.
And see, with them, I think so, but it's more like I got to see more evidence to show that they did or they didn't. But with Nipsey, it was no blood. With Malcolm X, it was literally no blood, and they shot this dude damn near 40 some times. They shot him too many times for him to not have no blood all on his shirt on the ground. Then they took pictures and then they let him lay there for damn near 30 minutes taking pictures when the hospital right across the street. Like if this was really real, like they would as soon he got shot, they'd have ran him right across the street to the hospital, not lay him there make sure they get good pictures. His glasses stay on just right. Just back then people ain't had common sense. I think like I done seen people get shot. I done seen people gunshot victims. I done seen people die and they blood leaking. Like shot one time, they whole thing leaking. They don't even know where they shot at, but somehow
Don't
Nipsey
forget
was.
splatter, blood
Yeah, there's no
splatter.
blood nowhere. It's just like they internal bleeding after the gunshot. Like, nah, it's so I believe a lot of these joints be stayed so they can live their life as normal people. They got so many things they can do to change your looks and your appearance. They got all these little things they call sleeves, human sleeves. You can look like somebody else and they can live amongst us and be regular for a change, and I'd be happy for them. That's what it takes, for Mike to live a regular life, Prince to live, Elvis, and them like that, then so be it. But I don't think they did. Show me the body. Show me the body, please.
Now, Dr. King, is he dead? You know what? When you think about that, like when Kennedy got shot, Jackie Onassis' dress was covered with blood, her husband blood. And
Hmm.
you said that there was no blood when Malcolm X got shot, and the pictures they show of him dead, no blood,
No blood. It
no
was
blood
like
spatter.
specks of blood, like little. Like if he got shot that many times, it should be blood everywhere. Like that's just it. It should be blood on the people who holding them. Everything. I done seen my mother hold somebody dying. It was blood everywhere, and it
Mm.
was on her too. It's just like I can't envision seeing that Malcolm X got shot 15 plus times more than the other person, and he had barely no blood. Nipsey Hussle gets shot up. They rolling his body over and everything. It's no blood. I'm like, is I'm retarded or something? Like
Why?
this,
Why
like,
did they shoot? What was the thing with Nipsey Hussle? Why did they shoot him again?
like I don't know. They saying he was stopping gang violence and he was supposed to, get him have a meeting with the police and stuff. He was buying a lot of stores around the property
He
was that he bought out the whole lot, things like that.
trying to change his community.
Yeah, but before then, nobody heard of Nipsey. They find ways to push a lot of these artists. Then out the blue, he get killed. Everybody listening to his music, downloading his music, playing his
Mm.
music. It's like that's cool and all, but I don't know. I just don't believe it. I've been in the hood too long. I lost a lot of friends. I done seen people get shot and stuff. Like I see blood. That's one vision that will never leave your eyes, your mind. Like once you see
Mm.
that, it's just like when I see it on TV. That's why we always say it look real or it look fake. They joint don't even look better than the movies. In the movies, at least they make it look more realistic. But nah, that clip that TMZ and them had, I was like, this is terrible. This is bad acting right here. Nobody did the makeup or nothing. But like I said, I know I
Wow.
can be wrong. But at the end of the day, I was wondering where the blood was at. Somebody can explain that to me one day, then I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But until then, I was like, nah, something look weird. The store cameras don't work. Like all the store cameras over there, we just got this one angle from far away. Just don't make
Mm.
sense.
Wow.
It was Paul MC Courtney killed MJ.
Paul McCartney killed Michael Jackson. That's what he's saying.
Oh, I think of music every time I read something slick. I'm talking about MC. They
He said Paul McCartney killed Mike.
ain't messing with Mike.
McCartney and Stevie Wonder did a song too called Ebony and Ivory, didn't they?
Avery and Avery.
Ebony and Ivory.
Mm.
They said live together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why can't we? That Stevie and Paul asking that question. Why can't we live together in perfect harmony?
I
That's
can't.
because one keys think they're better than the other keys, not realizing that they're all keys. That's why.
Competition.
That's another form of misery. Misery is like an onion. It got so many different layers of misery, but it all ties in to mental health. I think, well, this is what I believe. This is my opinion. Once you realize and know who you are, you won't be miserable. You won't be sad about anything because you know that you have the power to change your outcome. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
have the power to change your outcome. So instead of being miserable, instead of get busy, you either get busy living or get busy dying. So instead of, getting busy being miserable and just talking and blah 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 blah, do something to try to change. You don't waste the 15 minutes crying. That could be 15 minutes you could be using to fix whatever or correct whatever needs to be correcting or fixing.
man. What? You can keep moving. Like you gotta keep moving. Like that don't mean you don't have to cry. You can cry if that's what you feeling. Get it out. Them tears. That's releasing out all that pain and that hurt. But if you hold it in, you be wondering why your chest feel like it about to pop out. But shoot, I mean, we all go through it. Like I was still, man, editing, making CMOS, crying as I'm making it, thinking about my mother. So it don't stop me. It make me go harder. I
Yeah.
be hearing her now, like that's my little chemist right there. That's my chemist right there. Every time I'm making something, like, oh man, don't blow the house up. I almost blew the whole house up making my first batch of edibles, weed edibles. I caught on fire, end up in the hospital and everything. She said, God,
Dang, Molly, what was you trying to do? A Richard Pryor?
well, I was I was using alcohol, weed tension, and I ain't know that I ain't supposed to do it on a gas stove, only electric. And the person I was watching on YouTube, they ain't mentioned that, but they got electric stove, and I'm going step to step with them, So the batch that I was making was too much for a gas stove. If I had electric stove, it would have been okay. But man, I cut that
Ooh.
joint on 2 minutes later. Woof, house caught on fire. Man, I'm talking about the pan caught on fire first. So I was like, okay, I can throw some flour or something in it. But it was shooting out like bottle rockets. Like stuff just started shooting out everywhere, and everywhere it hit, it started to catch fire. So it just, man, I didn't know what to do, man. I just like get out of here. I was telling everybody get out the house because I was stuck on one side of the apartment. And my cousin Mecca and she said forget that. She jumped through the fire and grabbed me out. And
Oh,
I
wow.
was going, man. I was rolling. Cause I got asthma. I inhaled too much smoke. I passed out. I woke up
Oh,
in an
wow.
ambulance truck. Then passed out again. I woke up in the hospital. I had too much smoke in the lungs, so it kept me. But
No,
all this came because I was trying to make some damn edibles,
because you
just
was trying
following,
to make some money.
following the dude on YouTube, that shit was crazy. But I learned from that mistake. I ain't never do that again, and I kept doing it, but I just know to use electric now, though.
I
That's
was
the
about to
only
say it
thing.
didn't stop you. It didn't
Uh-uh.
stop your grind. You
You
had to
live and you
regroup and
learn.
think. You said, that didn't work. Let me see. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's it.
looked it up. They said do not do this on the every video I seen after that said, I'm gonna tell you this one thing, do not do this on the gas stove. You'll blow your house up. I said, man, I wish I'd have seen this.
Look, that's why you watch more than one video now. You don't stop at the first one.
No
First one
gap.
you
I watched 20 videos before I even get started. Like, okay, who had the best, safest method?
Oh, Molly, I'm sorry that you almost killed yourself.
I'm good, long and
I'm
living.
glad that you were here. I am glad. And this
You
is
gotta give
what was you gonna say, baby?
no, no, I was about to say you gotta give him something, for closing about Misery Love Company. That was a good topic today.
Don't be miserable. And watch the company you keep. If you notice everybody in your circle is griping, bitching, moaning, and complaining, then you be the one to say something different. Hey, let's not complain. Let's explore and let's figure out a way for us not to be miserable. That's the challenge. Figure out how not to be miserable. I challenge all of y'all when you come across adverse situations, circumstances, instead of complaining, that's the challenge. Don't complain, change it. That's
Mm,
yeah, that's a challenge. Is that a real challenge? Can I throw that gauntlet down and put it out there like a real challenge?
yeah, that's a nice challenge. See how people do with that.
See, and it did tell us, it did let me know uh, 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 of a time that you could have complained, but you didn't, and you did something different. Well, I want to hear your stories of how not complaining and doing something different changed something up for you. Yeah, we're gonna do a follow up to this, the
Okay.
Misery Love Company, and then we're gonna do the follow up called the Company You Keep. Boo boo boo.
Boo boo boo. The company you keep. I'm gonna share your ad before we end the show. Y'all know
All
Reese
right.
got her book Shades of Blue. If you need a copy, she got the $15 prints now. What's that? The paper print?
Then we got the paperback, yes. And
Yeah,
we're
paper.
finishing up the audio. So for those of y'all who don't like the digital downloads or media downloads, they don't want the hardback book. We got the softback book. Now we're gonna have the audio. The only thing we ain't gonna have is braille. But I
Okay.
might have a braille copy, but y'all won't have a
Yeah.
braille.
Then tell them sis don't F with them kind. Because Flicky ain't playing. But we got a special going right now. You get the CMOS and a copy of Reese $15 book for just $20. So you buy basically a book from Reese Ree, you can get a whole jar of CMOS, a $25 jar for just $5. So show us some support. We got you. It's gonna
We
be
got
going
you.
on for the whole month, so it ain't too late. I Reese Ray like ya.
All right. Love you. We're going out after this. Boom.